Hey guys, in this video we are going to talk about the folders panel inside the library module. And the folders panel is basically where you'll go to find your images. This is the kind of the source list of where your images are and how Lightroom is keeping track of them. And so I have my originals folder on my desktop, which I've opened right here. And you'll see these folders that are inside of my originals folder. They match what's in my originals folder here in Lightroom. And that's because I make sure that when I move images around, I do that within Lightroom. And that's very important to remember. So for example, if I have these new images right here that I want to import, if I move them into the originals folder, they do not show up in Lightroom. And the same way, if I want to move my starter pack images out, I move that to my desktop. Well, look, now Lightroom has lost track of them. Lightroom does not have any clue where they went. And so you have to do these things, moving your images around within Lightroom. And if you'll get in the habit of doing that, you will not lose track of images, and Lightroom will not lose track of images. Now, you'll notice that the auto imported photos folder is kind of grayed out. It doesn't have that question mark by it, so we know that Lightroom still knows where it's at and still knows what's in it, but it's grayed out because there are no images in it. If I open it up, there are no images in here. And if you'll notice, there's a 0 after the auto imported photos folder, showing us that there are no images within it. So let's just quickly go over some of the things of the folders catalog. First off, if I click on the plus sign here, I can add a new folder. Okay. I can put it right here inside of my originals folder. I could name it new images. And if I hit create, you'll see it created it here on my computer, and it created it here in Lightroom. And so all of the creating of image folders and everything that you're planned to use within Lightroom, you need to create them within Lightroom. I can do the same thing. I can click on my new images and I can hit minus to get rid of it. And you'll notice that it got rid of it out of my folders panel, but it also got rid of it off of my computer out of the originals folder. So that's important to know when we're wanting to stay organized. Now, if I click on the Macintosh hard drive, I can either show it where it's located in my computer, I can get info about it, or I can choose what's listed after it. And so you'll see here that there is some information listed after it. I currently have disk space. I could change that to photo count, and now it will list how many photos are actually cataloged within Lightroom from the Macintosh hard drive. So I can change that info there. If I click on my originals folder, or if I right click on it, I can create a folder inside of the originals, which would be the same as clicking on the plus. I can rename the originals folder, so I can rename it originals 57, for example, if I wanted to. You'll notice that that has changed everywhere. Now I don't want that, so I'm going to rename it back to originals. Okay, I can also remove it. I can hide this parent folder. So what that will do is it will hide it, and it will only show me what's inside of it. And so this is a way to kind of get rid of that hierarchy look of folders within the folders panel. To bring that back, I simply click on one of these folders and I go to show parent folder. And now my originals is there. And I could do the same thing, show parent folder, because my originals folder is on the desktop, and I could continue going back through that hierarchy. But with the desktop there, I am going to choose to hide this parent, so we just see the originals folder. So let's look at some of the other things we can do with the pull-down menu when we right-click on a folder inside of the folders panel. We know we can rename, remove it, we can hide parent or show parent folders. We can save the metadata for the files within the folder that we right-clicked on. And what that means is that Lightroom will go through and create sidecar files for the raw files that we have. And so that information can be taken into another program and used there. We can synchronize the folders, which means that Lightroom will go through and just check and update the files and the previews if that needs to happen. We can update the folder location, and this is great. So for example, if I pull the starter pack out, I can right-click on starter pack here and find missing folder, which is the same as the update. And I can track it down, click on my desktop, click on starter pack, and you'll now see that it has found it and is organized outside of my originals folder. I can do the same thing by moving it back into the originals folder. Again, Lightroom has lost it. I can update it and go to desktop. Where is it? There it is. Desktop, originals, starter pack, and track it down. So that's the same thing as what update folder location is. I can import directly into this folder, and then I can export this folder as its own Lightroom catalog. And so in this way, I can create a new catalog just from the images within the folder. I can show in Finder. So if I click on this, it will track down where that folder is located within my computer hard drive and then open up that folder so I can see it. And then I can get info on it, which will just give me information about the folder and what's in it. So let's just take a look at our folders that we have in the folder panel. And you'll notice that Lightroom Hero, I have the triangle next to it that I can open up and show that it has folders inside of it. The number 71 that you see after Lightroom Hero is a total of all of the images that are within the folders within the Lightroom Hero folder. And so if I click on the Lightroom Hero in my workspace here, all 71 images appear. If I click on Develop Module, only the 30 images within the Develop module appear. Same thing with all these other folders. Now, why that's important is because whatever I have selected here is what appears in the film strip in the Develop module. So if I want to work specifically on, let's say, the starter pack, I need to make sure that I select it in the folders panel of the library module before I come into the Develop module. Something else that we can do within the folders panel is we can move our folders around. So currently the Develop module folder is inside of Lightroom Hero, but I could take that and I could drag it into the auto imported folders. And so now it's currently there. And if I slide this over, you'll be able to see that in the auto imported folders, I now have the Develop module, and it no longer is in the Lightroom Hero folder. I can do the same thing to move it back. So now you see that in my folders on my desktop that it has moved back. I can also take it and move it completely just inside the originals folder itself. And so now it's still in the originals folder, but it is on the same level as the auto imported folders as well as the Lightroom Hero folder. So when you're moving folders around, remember to do that within the folders panel of the library module. And that's basically it of the folders panel. Use it to keep organized within Lightroom.